Our guest today is Matt, a co-founder of Assisted Global Vitality. AGV offers a no-cost client referral service to assist individuals in finding the facts when seeking stem cell therapy. AGV offers a professional look into the facts versus myths about stem cell therapy on a global scale. Matt, please introduce yourself and let's get started, my friend.
Hey Dave, thanks for having me on. My name is Matt Parr. I'm a disabled veteran. I served as a U.S. Army Ranger and a Green Beret medical supervisor. Founded and launched an international health and wellness business that I ran for almost 3 decades. And what we did was we helped people discover and understand the power of holistic integrated medicine and wellness. I was married for 23 years during that time. My wife, Jana, was my business partner. And in 2017, she was diagnosed with an aggressive form of cancer. We were able to extend Jana's life by several years. And we didn't do one thing, we did everything. But it's not just enough to do everything. It has to be done at the right time. It has to be done the right way. Things that are normally very simple when you have a disease state that's aggressive sometimes changes and alters that. It's better to know it and not need it than it is to need it and not have spent the time to know. What we've done over the last 3 decades has helped people connect with medical professionals in each of their fields that were specifically experts in the field that that person needed. And by doing that, we have seen just some miraculous results. I mean, myself, I have a 30 plus year old back injury from the military. 3 years ago, I got my first stem cell infusion, and within 5 days, I had no more pain. And, I've had pain come back and go since then, but it wasn't like it was before. It wasn't the debilitating pain that made it so I couldn't even walk. But it's also a new industry, it's a new area. In the last 15 years, stem cells have gone from being, voodoo over there, that thing they do in some other country, to mainstream. Because of AI and computerization, we're able to see breakthroughs and studies and validating evidences written up in medical reports and journals that would normally have taken decades in the past to do. Stem cells are not a silver bullet. They don't cure everything. Um, but we're seeing some great breakthroughs in things like autism and Parkinson's and Alzheimer's disease, things of vascular organs like the brain, the liver, the kidneys, the heart, the lungs. Those are the things that are impacted the most. Then, we see guys like me and Dave who have PTSD and TBIs from the military. We see them get to a point where the radiologist says, I can't see them on an MRI anymore. So there's proof out there that the stuff works on things much bigger and much more important than just a painful knee or a painful hip or a shoulder tear, although it does great results in those areas too. So our encouragement is to do your homework, dig in, take a look.
That's awesome. Thanks, Matt. So that's pretty much your passion was because you had your injury and your former wife, right? Is that kind of the passion how you got into this, Matt?
The fact that we were able to extend Jana's life by several years and give me and my daughters and their mom more time together after a diagnosis that said, you might have 60 to 90 days to live. Um, it was nothing short of life-changing. And that's the fuel that got me started of looking past what my own personal family needs were to finding answers for other people. It kind of
Got it.
happened very organically, Dave. I mean, I didn't intend to get into this business. I'm retirement age. What happened was people started calling me after they heard about my success and what had happened with Jana and what happened with my back and my neck. And they were like, do you think it could help me? It was a very natural, organic conversation. And I don't know, let me call some of the docs I've worked with and find out. And I'd call them and get advice. And then eventually I just connect those two people together.
So it was a passion, and now you're just helping connecting people to the right doctors and giving them advice for free, which is awesome, man. That's great.
Yep.
With all because all the information out on the internet, this could be really confusing, right? And so let's say somebody listens to this, how should they proceed, with getting a hold of you or go to your website, or what's the next steps for them?
Yeah, excellent. The first thing I would tell you is not everything on the internet is true. Okay.
Right.
We already all know that intuitively, but we go to the internet for medical advice and we go to some website and, some chat bot is giving us medical advice. And the first thing I would tell you is don't do that. That's not a good idea. You need to get with a medical professional of your choosing, but get with somebody who actually knows about your specific need and somebody who's had experience in regenerative or restorative medicine. And I say that with air quotes because regenerative medicine is an industry. Restorative medicine is and regenerative medicine is an entire industry that 20 years ago, most of us had never even heard of. And today, they're kind of going by the old status quo of modern day medicine. To my point, up until about a little less than 8 months ago, you could not get umbilical cord stem cells in the United States. You had to go to
Oh,
Panama, Costa Rica, Turkey, some other country that most of us had never been to even access umbilical cord stem cells. So most people just blew it off because A, it was going to be very expensive. B, their insurance didn't pay for it. C, they didn't understand it. So how can you ever say yes to something that you don't understand, especially when they're talking about sticking it in a vein in your arm or in your hip or in your back or your neck or wherever. And so what I always tell people is this is instead of confusing yourself by reading a bunch of stuff that might be outdated information, incomplete information, AI generated information, or just out and out BS. Why not just call somebody who that's all they do and
right.
let them introduce you to the right person and then make your decision on what's best for you. It never hurts and it doesn't cost anything to get the information.
So if somebody, let's say somebody's not sure whether this would help them, should they still reach out to you, Matt?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
What I would do first is go to our website, go to assistedglobalvitality.com. And Dave and I will post this with that in the comments so you can click on the link. But what I would do is go to the website. There's a couple of really short videos on there that'll give you a lot of information about stem cells, which ones work,
Right.
what are the
Yeah, there's a lot of
best,
different
what's the
stem
best
cells.
method to use? Because stem cells by themselves are just cells in your body. What the magic is the type of cell that they extract and then how they handle it. How's it stored? How's it processed? Has it been altered? Was it damaged? Are the cells even still alive? And there's a lot of different types of stem cells for sale on the open global market. What I would tell you is the ones that get the best results in all the disease states or all the injury states are the umbilical cord blood cells. And think about it this way, Dave. I'm 68 years old. Do you want recycled 68-year-old burned out, wore out stem cells out of my fat tissue? Or would you rather have the body building, God given umbilical cord stem cells that are on their way to build a body?
Right. Yeah,
And
those are
hybrid.
like brand spanking new. You want the new ones, right?
Right. That's right.
Awesome. One last question before we wrap up, Matt. So let's say they go on the website, they like what they see, they fill out a form. What's the next what happens next?
Yeah,
As I go
there's
that
buttons
process.
all over the website for set up your free consultation, contact us. Just click on it. Put in your
Is that via
name.
Zoom, phone call?
Yeah, all we need is your cell phone number so we can text you a link
Okay.
or an email address so we can email you a link, whatever way you want to do it. And then we'll send you a link and we'll get on the phone. And most of the time, you're going to get a chance to talk to me.
Nice.
If you want to, you can get a chance to talk to Victor, my partner. We're
Okay.
the guys that started this whole mess, and we'll be glad to get on there with you, answer your questions, spend some time with you, and then offer you further resources and an introduction to a MD medical doctor that's doing.
Got it. And I lied. I do have one more question.
All
So
right.
once they like everything, what's how soon can they usually get down to a clinic?
Oh, I've seen people get treated the next day because they were in pain. The average
Oh,
is
wow.
with Depends where they're coming from and how long the travel is and how
Okay.
expensive travel is. Somewhere between, 2 days and 2 weeks.
Okay. Awesome. Awesome. Anything else you'd like to say before I wrap up here, Matt?
No, I just thanks for having me on. Oh yeah, there's one thing. Dave and I are both veterans, and so is my partner. So we do offer a veteran discount if you have a DD-214 or a copy of your discharge orders from the military. We'll be glad to offer you that discount also. So with that, Dave, I'm looking forward to meeting anybody that needs help. I'm looking forward to your inquiry on our website. I look forward to talking to you.
Awesome, man. I sent about 5 or 6 vets down to talk to Matt, and they had great results, and they raved about the clinics and the results. So that's another good testimonial. Again, thank you so much for being and joining us today, Matt. Again, don't forget the website, Assisted Global Vitality. Reach out, even if you have a question, reach out, fill out the forms, get on a call. It's all free. Don't forget about that. Just think about it. It's like having a consultant. Consultants can charge $250 to $500 per session. Matt and his team does it for free. So reach out to him, get a hold of him, and see if this will work for you.